Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our lesson today. Remember yesterday we introduced the symbol interest and we laid some formulas. We said interest is equals to principal times rate times time all for 100. And then we also proceed to amount, whereby we said to get amount, you get the interest, then after that you will add the principal. That's how we get the amount. And then I said there are some terms they use when they are asking amount. If they say how much did the person withdraw, how much did he withdraw or did she withdraw, that is amount. Then if they say how much will she pay back or how much will he pay back, that one is also amount. If they say how much will he pay or how much will she pay, that's also amount. And also I said if they say how much will be in his account or in her account, that one is also amount. You add the principal and the interest together. Today we move to now principal. Principal, I said, is also called the deposit, the amount you have deposited or the amount borrowed or the loan invested, all are same. So how do we get principal? We said yesterday, and I'm saying today, principal is equals to, or the deposit or the amount borrowed is equals to interest multiplied by 100 all for rate times time. We say that. So let us see a question here. Anganye deposited deposited some money in a bank. Anganye deposited some money in a bank. After some money in a bank. Then they said after 2.5 years. After 2.5 years. After 2.5 years, he collected a simple interest. He collected a simple interest of shillings 500. If this interest was calculated, at the rate of 5%. At the rate of 5%, then they said how much money had he deposited? How much money had he deposited? That's what they are asking. So what they are asking is the deposit. Deposit is the principal. So we said we list what we have. You are told Ogonyo deposited some money in a bank after 2.5 years. That is time. We list now. Time is 2.5 years or 2.5 years. I said yesterday they are same. Simple interest of shillings 500. Interest 500. What else are we given? At the rate of 5%. Rate. We have the rate 5%. Then you are told how much money had he deposited? How much money had he deposited? So let us get now the deposit or the principal now. We said principal or the deposit is equals to, principal is equals to interest times 100 over the rate times time. We said that interest, our interest here is shillings 500 times 100 over the rate is 5%, multiplied by time is 2.5. Now, what do we do now? This number, one of the denominators has a decimal. So the first thing we do is to remove the decimal of the denominator. How do we remove the decimals of this denominator? And the decimal is only 1. We have only one decimal point here. Decimal place. What we do now, we multiply times 10 times 10. After the decimal is one number, you say times 10 both sides. And now to remove the decimal, cancel, the point will go outside now. So here now remains shillings 5,500 times 100 times 10 multiplied both sides. All for 5 multiplied by 25 now. So by 5 100, by 25 1, by 25, 4. So we multiply now 4 times 100 times 10, you will get shillings 4,000. You will get shillings 4,000. This is now the deposit or the principal. Now that's how we get. I'm repeating, you are told Ongenye deposited some money in a bank. After 2.5 years, 2.5 years is 2.5. I prefer the point. 2.5 years is 2.5. Then you are told collected an interest of shillings 500. Interest shillings 500. Then you are told at the rate of 5%. The rate is 5% now. What they're asking now is the deposit now. We don't have the deposit now. They're asking the deposit or the principal now. How do we get the principal? I came here, I said principal is equals to interest times 100 over rate times time. Interest 500 times 100 over 5 times 2.5 years, 2.5, easy way. Always when the denominator has a decimal, you remove it, multiply by 10. After the decimal is only one number, times 10 times 10. Cancel, the point will go outside with this after killing the 0. So we said now 500 times 100 over 5 times 25, then times 10 here. This one has gone with the decimal. By 5, 1, by 500, by 25, 1, by 25, 4. 4 times 100 times 10, you will get shillings 4,000. That's how we get the deposit. Let us see another question here. You are told Abdi had deposited his money in a bank. Abdi deposited his money in a bank, which paid 2.5% per annum. Which paid 2.5% per annum. Per annum means per year. Per year, simple interest. Simple interest. At the end of 1 year, he received shillings 50. At the end of 1 year, he received shillings 50. He received shillings 50. Then you are told how much money had he deposited in a bank. How much money had he deposited? How much money had he deposited in the bank? How much money had he deposited in the bank? So they're asking the deposit now. You're told Abdi had deposited his money in a bank. We don't know the amount he had deposited, which paid 2.5% simple interest. 2.5%, that is the rate we list now. The percent one is the rate now. So the rate is 2.5% or 2.5%. Half is 0.5. Simple interest at the end of 1 year. Time, we list time. 1 year. He received shillings 50. Simple interest, after 1 year, he received an interest of shillings 50. So the interest is shillings 50. How much had he deposited? They're asking the deposit or the principal. How much or the principal? So that's what they're asking now. Let us get now the principal or the deposit. The formula was here. We said principal is equals to interest. Our interest there is shillings 50. Interest, which is shillings 50, multiplied by 100 is the formula. Over the rate, our rate there is 2.5, which is 2.5%, multiplied by time 1 year. I said earlier, the denominator has a decimal. What do we do? So if the denominator has a decimal, we remove the decimal point, times 10. If after the decimal are 2 numbers, you say times 100. If the decimal there are 3 numbers, you say times 1,000 both sides. Now 1 number, you say times 10 on both sides. This one is the driver of this one. So cancel It goes outside now. So here remains with now shillings 50 times 100 times 10 alpha 25 multiplied by 1 year. That's the time. By 25 1 by 25 2. So 2 times 100 times this times 10, you will get shillings 2,000. That is now the deposit. That's how we get the deposit. Very simple. That is the issue of only following the formula. So that's how we get. You are told Abdi deposited some money in a bank which paid at the rate a simple interest of 2.5%. That is 2.5 the rate at the end of 1 year. Time 1 year. So, and then the interest he collected was shillings 50. You are told find the deposit. Deposit is equals to interest, which is shillings 50, times 100, times 10, times 100, alpha 2.5 times 1 year. You remove the decimal, times 10 on both sides. So this one, you kill the zero, you remove the decimal. So here remains with 50 times 100 times 10, because of the multiplied on both sides, alpha 25 times 1 year, by 25 1 by 25 2, 2 times 100 times 10, you will get shillings 2,000. That is how we find. So we are through with the principle. We go to now rate. We go to now rate. We go to rate now. And we say rate is equal to now, after going to rate is equal to the same we did yesterday, interest times 100 alpha the now principal now. Alpha the principal or the deposit times time. That's how we get the rate. So the interest times 100 alpha the principal times time. That's how we get the rate. Let's see, you are told what rate was charged on a principal. What rate was charged on a principal? What rate was charged on a principal of shillings 18,000? Of shillings 18,000 for 5 years. For 5 years. If the simple interest generated was, if the simple interest generated was shillings 12,150. 12,150. That's what they are asking. So they're asking the rate. We list now. The rate was charged a principal. Principal they have listed. Principal shillings 18,000. We list what we have. For 5 years time. 5 years. If the simple interest generated was this interest. Interest is shillings 12,150. They are asking now, what we are looking is the rate now. Question mark. Rate is equals to interest, which is 12,150 multiplied by 100, interest times 100, alpha principal 18,000, shillings 18,000, time is now time 5 years. So we cancel this. So you divide, after dividing this, the rate will be now 13.5% or 13.5% either. That's how we find. So in an examination, multiple choice, you might find 13.5 or 13.5, they are the same. So that's how we get the rate is the percentage one now. So we have the principal, we have the time, we have the interest, we are looking the rate. Rate is equals to interest, which is 12,150, time is 100, alpha the principal, which is 18,000, times time, which is 5. You cancel. When you divide now these two, you will get 13.5 or 13.5%. That is how we find. That's how we find the rate. For a rate question, it's another question here. Here you are told amount borrowed. The person has borrowed. Amount borrowed. I'll write in summary form. Shillings 4,000. For 9 months time. Time 9 months. 480 as interest. Share is 480. Then you are told what rate. They are asking the rate now. Yes. So rate is equals to interest. Rate is equals to interest times 100 alpha principal times time. Interest 480 times 100 is the formula. Alpha the principal borrowed, the amount the person has borrowed or he has deposited is the principal borrowed. Principal deposit are same. Alpha now principal she is 4,000. Time is 9 months. Now I said yesterday when you are given a month, what do? We say alpha 12. We change the time. Because it's by year, they want by year. So we change the month into a year. So we say alpha 12. Whenever you are given a month, you change into a year. So we cancel this one. This one will go there. So by 3, by 3, 4, by 4, 1, by 4, 1. So by 3, 1, by 3, 16. So you will get 16%. That is the rate now. That's how we get. The problem is the month. You always say alpha 12, 9 alpha 12. So this 12 cannot be divided the numerators. This 12 can only be divided by which is inside, which is the denominator. So you divide that. So 16%. I said borrowed, interest 480 times 100, alpha the principal 4,000, time is time 9, alpha 12 now. So it's a month. So by 12, by 4, 1, I said by 3, 4, by 3, 3, by 4, 1, by 4, 16. So you'll get 16%. That's how we get the rate. So what is remaining is time now. We do one question for time now. So then we call it simple interest now. So we go to now time. Time you are told when we deposited 6,000, this person has deposited. So we go to now time. This person has deposited shillings 600. After how long? They're asking the time. We don't know the time. You are given simple interest for 48. Interest shillings 48. Interest shillings 48. Rate 8%. 8% per annum. So they want now time. So let us get now time. We said time is equals to interest times 100 alpha principal times rate interchange. So interest here is 48 shillings 48 times 100 alpha principal, which is shillings 600 times time is rate, which is 8%. So cancel by 6-1 by 6-8 by 8-1 by 8-1, which is equals to 1 year. That's how we get time. That's how we get the time. So time is equals to interest, which is 48, time is 100, alpha the principal, which is 600 times 8. So cancel by 6-1 by 6-8 by 8-1 by 8-1 is 1 year. So that was time. The last question for time now. Here you are given calculate the time. Shillings 1,000 deposit. Shillings 1,000 deposit. Shillings 10,000. Then you are given also interest. Interest you are given shillings 5,000. Then you are given rate 10% per annum. So they want the time now. Time is equals to interest, which is 5,000. Time is 100. The formula says that alpha the rate, which is 10. Alpha the principal, which is 10,000. Time is red, which is 10. So this one will go with these two. This one goes with this one. Then you will get here, this was shillings, sorry, shillings, they go together. So here you will get 5, yes. 5, yes. That's how we get. So I'm repeating, you are given the deposit, shillings 10,000. The interest, shillings 5,000. This guy has borrowed this amount at the interest, at the simple interest of shillings 5,000 at the rate of 10% per annum. How long now? They're asking, if you hear how long, that's time. So time is equals to interest, which is shillings 5,000, times 100, alpha principal, which is 10,000, times rate, which is 10. So this go with this one will go with this one. So here remains with 10. Cancel, you cancel. Shillings go with shillings. So 5 times 1 is 5. So you will get 5, yes. So that is the end of the simple interest. So you revise them well. Next lesson we shall go to now compound interest. So I wish you all the best.